Hi guys, welcome to another beer review. Got the indie fuckboy slash soyboy beanie on because my hair's greasy, and the ironic thing is, the part that's on show when I wear this beanie is always the greasiest part of my hair because I'm always like brushing it to the side. A little bit of a dead meme action there for you. And yeah, but my excuse this time is it's the first day of 3 days off work, so I'm just going to vegetate in this room, although I do smell a trip to the Northern Beer Temple in my future, plus I need to get my eyes retested because I need new glasses. And if you thought I was a pretentious indie hipster fuckboy now, just wait till you've got my new frames. And I am on the actual search to find myself a beret to go into my final form of hipsterdom, because I'm at that point now where I'm like, fuck it, just do whatever the fuck you want and don't let people knock you down, pretty much. You know, living my post-punk days in my late 20s. Better late than never. But yeah, I know what I'm going to do. If I do eventually buy a fucking beret, I'll wear it for a little bit, not really regularly, and then that will just fade off and it'll just become another dead meme in the lexicon of the clueless drinker. But today we've got something that's a little bit special, and one that I may or may not have consumed when I was in Manchester with everyone recently, with Paul, Harry, Rob, Stuart, Craig, James. And yeah, we drank a hell of a lot, as you will have seen on the Manchester Piss Up channel. There are videos on there that I will never watch because I was an absolute disgraceful mess. But I'm not sure if this was drunk when I was there or the day before when I wasn't. But I did drink Sink the Bismarck, which was an interesting experience, which was another gift from Paul. Don't remember much about it, but I do not want to revisit those videos. But yeah, it's still a BrewDog beer, and it's one that at the time only cost £3.20. God, even if they were to rebrew this, they would not charge £3.20 now. I'm sure of it. But this was actually something that Harry had and brought to the bottle share. And on the last morning when everyone was getting ready to leave, I just saw that it was on the counter, and I was like, oh, what a cool little thing to have for like the non-existing beer display that I have in progress. And then I didn't realise that there's actually still some sort of liquid in there, which may or may not be the actual beer itself. But this is the Dickie, which is an ice distilled beer, so it's an ice bock. Not too sure if it's a hoppy sort of ice bock. I have seen, when I did very limited research on this, there were websites calling this a barley wine, which I'm not too sure. But yeah, ice distilled, so that to me is an ice bock. And 35% ABV in a tiny little bottle, which comes in this cool little cardboard box with some interesting artwork from Days Gone By from BrewDog. And here is the tiny little bottle. Almost looks like a sort of medicine bottle. Same artwork on the front, tells you exactly the same, and you can't really see it, but there is some liquid in there. So just like a small girl holding my penis, to overcompensate, I'm going to be drinking this out of a tiny glass, which was also given to me by the wonderful Harry from Blue Nose Beer Reviews, so his link will be down below. He gave me a Dark City one, and he also gave me a Hop City one. And speaking of Hop City, the guys met up this past weekend for Hop City. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend, but it was nice to see that they had a good time. And they had Augustina Hellers on tap, which would have really excited me, even though it's all about the haze. But yeah, God, that's potent already. I can smell it from here. Yeah, not too sure what to expect from this. I don't usually fare too well with these sorts of beers, which are a little bit gimmicky. But I do like icebox. The one that springs to mind is the Aventinus Icebox. But this is a completely different animal. And I think at one point this was perhaps the strongest beer But of course, times change, and I can't remember what the highest ABV beer available is now. But I'll probably never drink it because I don't really want to. But anyway, so fucking hell, that stinks. Let's pour it into the glass and see what we get. So it's only a tiny little bit, but I thought I'd make a tiny little video on this, which is ironic since we're at 6 minutes already. But yeah, it looks even tiny in this tiny little glass. Oh my word. But yeah, it definitely leaves some alcohol legs. Just look at that. And it almost is sort of like a liqueur or a spirit in the glass. Lovely sort of dark amber colour. No, actually no, not amber. Well, yeah, there is a bit of amber in there, but it is more of like a slight ruby red, slight oakiness as well. It is clear, but it's not really too dense, but it's got like a film around it from that ABV. But yeah, it doesn't look too overly syrupy, which is nice, but I'm sure it will be nice and velvety and smooth. But yeah, it doesn't look too bad. So let's see what we get on the nose. I think this is like the optimal amount to have at a time, I would say. But yeah, let's give it a sniff. Fucking hell. I took a really big whiff and that was a mistake. Jesus Christ. Fucking hell, you cannot sniff this too much because it stings the nostrils. Oh my god. So, you get loads of like resiny sort of hoppiness there. I'm getting loads of sweet molasses as well. It definitely smells like what I remember an ice bock. I haven't had an ice bock for such a long time in any shape or form. Really must try and get my hands on another Schneiderweiser Aventinus ice bock because that's just a beautiful beer. So it's got those sort of flavours in there. But there's a really big, almost soy sauce or umami sort of alcohol aroma there. Yeah, and if you, I mean, I've come a little bit climatized to it, desensitized to it, but when you take a sniff, I'm not kidding, that stings the nostrils. Yeah, a little bit of chocolate, but then there's like this big savoury character, like Worcester sauce, soy sauce, umami, slight Asian spiciness as well. And then, of course, you get like paint thinner and maybe a hint of nail varnish remover. It's interesting for sure. It really, really is. So, yeah. Will I survive this? Who cares? Let's give it a taste. Cheers, guys, and cheers, Harry. Ugh, that's horrible. That's fucking horrible. It's so savoury. It's so meaty as well. It tastes like a stir fry. And then you get this sort of like the harshness of whiskey in there. There's no subtlety at all with this. And I was expecting with that slight velvety body at least some sort of smoothness. But obviously because I'm not used to this sort of stuff, that is fucking harsh. That really, really is. It's burning now as it's going down. I do not like that at all. That is actually awful. It really, really is. I'm sure it would have tasted different, fresher. But time has not been kind to this. 2013, I think, is when they first brewed it. So it's got 5 years on it. But yeah, it's just perhaps all of those flavours that you would get in there have just been completely washed out by this alcohol ethanol harshness. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that at all. Yeah, just big soy sauce flavours in there. Like a little bit of saltiness. You know when you like sort of accidentally bite the inside of your gum and you get that, or you've got like a little cut in your mouth and it's bled a little. It's got that slight iron flavour in there as well. And like overly boiled vegetables. And then just this big hit of harshness. But then again, it's not supposed to be subtle, is it? It's not supposed to be, ooh. It's not one of those sorts of beers. It's gimmicky as hell. It was to prove a point. And do you know what? For the £3.90, £3.20 at the time, great little gimmick to have with your mates, that sort of thing. But as a drinking experience, I'm not liking that at all. And I don't have any light beers to wash this down with, so it's going to have to be an impy stout after this one. But yeah, I thought it'd be interesting anyway to shoot a video on this one. But let's go in for another taste. It's so bitter as well, and it lingers on your breath. I can't drink the rest like that. I mean, it's a tiny little thing, but it's warmed me up. It's been a little bit cool today, a little bit chilly. Yeah, it just tastes like I've cut my tongue or something, and I can taste the iron of the blood. That's it really, with a little bit of soy sauce in there. So Asian cannibals will love this beer. That was unnecessarily racist, I do apologise. But no, not my sort. It's leaving bits on the inside of the glass. Just look at that. It's just nasty. It's fucking awful. It really, really is. Out of 10, I've got to give this a 1 out of 10. It's one of the worst things I've put in my mouth for quite a long time. But yeah, I mean, what was I expecting really? It was a tiny little bit in the bottom of a bottle, very suspect. But yeah, and this is why I don't like these sorts of beers. But I'm not going to complain about them because it's not really for me. But there are people who love to try this. And yeah, if you've still got bottles of this that are unopened, you've got yourself a little bit of a fortune there. You could sell that very easily, I'd say. But as a drinking experience, no, that's absolutely woeful. And yeah, I can't even be angry at Harry because I was just greedy and took it. But when I saw that there was a tiny little bit of just liquid in the bottle, I was like, fuck it, we're getting a video done. So yeah, if you've tried this or any of the other sort of higher ABV beers or beers from the likes of BrewDog or any other breweries, then give me your thoughts, opinions down below. If there are any that you'd like me to try, feel free to get in touch with me and I can potentially get that sorted out. Of course, if any of my friends and fellow beer tubers have reviewed it, then their links will be down below. If I can brave looking through the Manchester piss-up videos, then I'll find the video where this has been sampled, if it has been sampled at all. And yeah, check out Harry from Blue Nose Beer Reviews, who very kindly let me take this, because I only took it for the artwork. I didn't realise there was stuff in there. Check out the Manchester Piss-Up channel as well for some entertaining videos. Of course, check out BrewDog. I don't think I've got an Ice Spot playlist, so just check out my BrewDog playlist for much better drinking experiences than this. So, yeah. Now I'm like mouth, it's not numb, but it's got like a weird sensation on it. This is not good. Anyway, thank you guys for sitting through this absolutely unnecessary video. And don't misconstrue this as me shitting on BrewDog, because there are still quite a few BrewDog beers that I do really enjoy, especially Elvis Juice. I wish I had a 4-pack of Elvis Juice. I might actually just go to my local corner shop and get myself some Elvis Juice now, because I'm in the mood to wash it down and get rid of this. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I shall hopefully see you all later. Cheers.